Have a guess who's bought a crashed supercar so they can fix it on YouTube? Not us, no, but Marty has been back at it again, buying nuggets from the internet that he probably shouldn't be buying, and I know I also buy nuggets off the internet that I shouldn't be buying, but Marty's got something very special. It's in his blood. Here it is, people. New to the Mighty Car Mods garage, a Daishitsu Copen.
Excuse me.
What?
The best convertible sports car ever made. Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. Now, recently, we went to Malaysia and we raced a K-car at a 24-hour endurance event. By the way, Kuala Lumpur, that was our team name. You can get this T-shirt for a limited time on the Mighty Car Mods shop.
Show them the back, look
Click
at that.
the thing.
We were the first Australian racing team in history to compete in the K-Car Global 24-hour endurance race. If you haven't seen that film, it's called Racing Midnight. We'll leave a link to it here. We saw a lot of Copens. We liked them.
We saw a lot of fast Copens, and I was not expecting that. These things were just blitzing us on the track. They were so fast. There was like the tube frame custom made race cars, and then these. That's who was doing really, really well. And there is a reason for that, which I'll get to later. But right now...
Look what I found laying around. So quite often, things don't move too slow around here. When one of us goes, you know what, the other day I was reading about it, that thing arrives like within a day. So I disappeared for probably 2 days, went camping, came back, and Martin's like, got a Copen. But in the days leading up to that, this magazine, Ultimate 660 World, which is basically just little K-cars featuring Copens, you know, I found this lying around. So I was like, I knew it was actually happening. I don't know much about these cars other than in Malaysia, on track, they were incredible.
Yeah.
Like absolutely incredible. We spoke to some owners that actually owned these cars and they loved them. They had 100 different reasons why they love these particular cars. But before we dive into that and what we're going to do with it, let's give you a quick little rundown about this car, the specs, some engine stuff, just some info about this Copen to get you up to speed.
Until I saw these cars ripping up Sepang Circuit and until I drove one, I would never have considered that this is one of the best and most fun cars Japan has ever made. This model is known as the L880 and it debuted at the 1999 Tokyo Motor Show. It's got a 660cc turbo 4-cylinder engine, making the legal limit of 47 kilowatts. That meets K-car regulations in Japan, meaning less tax and more parking options. This model was sold for 11 years in Japan, Europe and Australia. You can pick one of these up for somewhere between around 8,000 and 15,000 Australian dollar bucks. For a car that does it all, that is a bargain.
So there you have it, everything you would ever need to know about Copens. And the secret as to why they are just that little bit more special is that JBDET engine, a four-cylinder, which is unusual for Daihatsu's 660cc engine. This thing has a giant engine cover on it. It is also turbocharged, it is also intercooled, and it's a really, really sweet engine. It's really revvy and it really does a good job of making these things fast. I know it kind of looks like a piece of garlic bread or like a loaf of garlic bread.
It does.
But this is so surprisingly capable. It really, really is. Weird looking, but it's got MX-5 vibes, only smaller and I would argue more fun.
So what we're going to do, obviously, before we kick off anything with this car, and it's kind of the Mighty Mods playbook in that way, we're just going to check the fluids and do the basic service stuff, make sure everything is in there and looking great. And then wheels and tyres and seats. Recently we did this series called Cash vs Trash. I got this little Suzuki Swift, and probably the best mod that I did to it, I mean, we always talk about tyres, of course, and wheels, but one of the best mods I did was the seats. It was a game changer on the track. This car is going to the track soon. So today, I picked up some Mad seats second-hand. Marty's picked up some wheels and tyres second-hand. So I think we're just going to dive into it and get going. Before we do get going, though, I do want to show you an all-new product. We have Mighty Car Mods magnetic parts tray. These are freaking awesome. We're going to be using these today. And for a limited time, we got free key tags. So you might get a chopped one, you might get a Mighty Car Mods one. It won't show up in your cart, but you will get it. So grab one of these from the Mighty Car Mods shop and you'll get one of those as well. Martin, first step is
Jack up your car.
I didn't buy this thing just to look at it. I bought it to drive and drive it hard. So every fluid is getting checked and if necessary, replaced. The oil filter was changed just a few days ago and it's running Castrol Edge 530, which only needs a small top up. The brake fluid passes the moisture test, so it can stay for now. What isn't passing the test is the coolant. It's more water and mud than coolant, and we saw what happened in Malaysia with a neglected cooling system.
Oil is good, brake fluid is good, coolant, not so good. We use our test strip and it looks like it needs to be replaced. So we're going to jack it up and see if we can drain it out. Interestingly, the subframe under this looks exactly the same as just about every other Daihatsu. So it's like all built on the same frame, same platform. This is the same platform, more or less, as our Project Kalisa that we raced. So a lot of the stuff will fit.
To get the coolant out, we'll jack up the car, put it on jack stands, and then drain the radiator through its bottom bung. While we're at it, we'll also remove the thermostat to help drain what we can out of the engine itself. The thermostat looks pretty new and the gasket is in good condition, so it can be reused. Now is the time to check all the hoses for any hard or cracked rubbish. Next, the wheels can come off. These are stock ones that have been plasti dipped black and can go in the bin because I've got something way better lined up.
If you're into small, weird cars like I am, there's a good chance that you're always on the hunt for wheels, because it can be hard to find wheels that fit K cars. You don't have a lot of room to play with in there. The Copen is 4x100 for the stud pattern. The stock wheels are okay, but they are 15-inch, which opens up a little bit more wheels because Civic people need 15-inch wheels along with some others. So these are a second-hand wheel I got. They're called Ray's Itaru. I found them on Marketplace and drove out to some dude's farm. It's about to be turned into an airport. And picked them up. They're extremely, extremely light. Came with tyres, which is cool. So second-hand wheels, second-hand tyres. These will be perfect for the Copen. And we're always saying, people, wheels, tyres and seats. So these are going on there.
As I've learned recently on the track, one of the best options you can get for your car when you're talking about modifying it, after your wheels and tyres, is a mad set of seats. And one of the best options, of course, is getting an OEM seat or something that was an option for a version of your car. They were $700, which as far as I'm concerned for a set of Recaros is a bargain. So let's throw them in and see if they fit.
While the seats are out, we're going to vacuum everything. It is possible to put Recaro seats in just about any car, but the rails and adapters can often make them sit higher up than stock, which in this car is a deal breaker. Orange seats are a bit yuck in my opinion, but I can deal with the grotty colour because they fit so well and make the Copen even more excellent to be in. While the seats are being bolted down, I can bleed the cooling system with a funnel bucket, then the engine cover can go back on and we can get the car down off the jack stands, ready for a test drive.
We are very fortunate to have a hoist over at Super Garage where we can work on some of our bigger projects, but my favourite place to be is still here in the Mighty Car Mod shed working on all of our nuggety little cars. And even though there is no hoist here, over the years we've still managed to do so many awesome projects here, and we do that by making sure that we either use these quick jacks or we're using jack stands and making sure they're the right weight and installed in the right position for your car. We also use this low profile Tool Pro jack. All of this stuff is available from Super Cheap Auto. So if you're just getting started, this stuff with a basic socket set is going to let you do most of the projects that you need to do for your car. So next up, we're going to go for a drive, but I'm also keen to see how the retractable roof works. We've had hard tops on the S2000 and the MX-5, but they haven't been mechanical ones. They're ones that you kind of got to attach. This, I think, is the first car we've ever had on Mighty Car Mods that has a mechanically retractable hard top. So I want to see how that works. Then we're going to hit the street. Let's see the hard top, Martin. Let's see what all the fuss is about.
Oh, these seats are so good. The stock ones aren't bad, but these are just next level, and they just look cool. I don't like orange. I don't like orange.
I know why you don't like orange.
Does anyone like orange?
Orange is my favourite colour. It's legitimately my favourite colour.
Is it? Orange is in my top 3 fruit.
Yeah, not the taste, but the fruit. But on the colour wheel, it's because orange is the opposite of blue, and you only buy blue cars. If this car was blue...
Oh, dude, if this car was blue, I'd be frothing. I don't think you can get them easily.
Why do you like blue cars so much, Martin?
I find blue very relaxing. I think it's because I like water and I like the sky and the cars, and it's just a very calming colour. I reckon that's what it is.
The water is not blue, though. That's just a reflection of the sky, and that's not blue either. That's just an illusion based on the spectrum.
Because it's black, but it's the air molecules as the light hits it that makes it appear blue.
All right, show us this thing. Oh, that's cool.
All you do is you press and hold a button directly here under the handbrake, and it all happens. Look at this. Bang, once it's down, you flick this in, flick in your things. It'll beep when it's done. And then all you do is pull your windows up and watch the windows go up in stages. Watch this. Little back ones.
Oh.
And once they're up, the front ones.
It does look like garlic bread.
I was really surprised by how nice it feels to drive straight away off the bat. He's doing the mouth thing, isn't he?
No,
Except
I'm
with
not.
his whole body. So straight away, I was surprised. Shocks feel good. I'm going to sound like a car reviewer. It's very compliant, and the ride's good, sporty yet agile, with good handling, but it doesn't shake your teeth out over speed bumps. Pay me money, manufacturer. No, seriously, it's just a good package. They've done a good job, and if I had, I'm nearly done. We went to the biggest K-car race in the world, a 24-hour endurance race, and these things chop the shit out of everyone. Isn't that all you need to know? Seriously, like they're actually good and they're fast. And we should
Martin,
get our
let's
stuff
not
and
say-
go for a
Martin.
drive.
There's two statements. I'll let you have one. They're good, they're fast. You can have one of those. I love that you love it. I'm not trying to rain on your parade.
Well, you are.
I am.
You are.
No, just because it's not fast.
You haven't even been in it yet.
I don't need
Wait,
to.
it's convertible.
It's fast compared to slow cars. Fact. Compared to really slow cars, it's a bit
It's
faster.
fast for what it is. We should drive it. Then we'll decide.
Yeah.
Let's go. You can't not have a good time, man.
That's
It's
great.
convertible. It's small. It's fun. It handles so good. It revs to, what does it rev to? 7,500. Listen to that. We're not even breaking the speed limit, dude.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I just want to have a little second gear pull, Martin.
Sure.
I just want a little, let me just experience. I'm sure it's not about that. But
Go. Turbo's on. Here we go. We're still revving.
I reckon with like 300% more power, it would be really
Dude,
fun.
with 50% more power, it'd be even
No,
better.
50% more
But
power would be great.
this is essentially a convertible Lotus, if you think about it. It's a convertible JDM Lotus. It's lightness, man. The gear shift is like so nice and sweet, and it's revvy, and it's just like all the controls feel really good. The steering feels darty, but it's like it's front wheel drive thing. But look at how good it feels. Look at this.
If you could straight swap this for a Lotus, like a Lotus Exige Supercharged S240, would you have this or the Lotus? No money change hands, a straight swap.
Oh, the Lotus.
Would you?
Yeah, and then I'd sell the Lotus and buy 6 of these.
Yes, that's the right answer. Well, Martin, I've actually got a day of organising a bunch of like up GTI parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allocate a couple of hours and buy you a couple of bits, because that magazine, you can get like exhaust, there's intakes, there's all sorts of mad stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have a chat with Rob
Can you get me some bits?
and I'll order you some bits.
So good.
You can go drive around in your car. I'll get my bits, get your bits, and then yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm not saying I'm too embarrassed to go to the racetrack with you in this car.
Yeah.
But when are you going?
Yeah,
I'm not available. But you enjoy it, and no, I'm actually interested to hear about how it goes.
Yeah, and if it's as awesome as I think it's going to be, if we throw some mods at this, another round of mods,
Yes.
I think it'll be even better.
And then this versus up GTI,
Yeah,
because they're both front-wheel drive,
Yeah.
they're both turbo. I think it'll be a cool little battle.
yeah. All right.
I've brought the car down to Pheasant Wood Circuit. This is where the Blue Turd got chopped years ago, but the track has had some serious renovations since then and is looking excellent. I'm keen to see just how good this little car is on track, where there's no speed humps and no speed limits.
As we were driving around Sepang Circuit, we kept having these cars whizzing past us, and these dudes just looked like they were having the best time ever, and they were in Daihatsu Kopens. It's actually a close relative of the cars that we have dealt with so much, the Seors and the Syrians and all those other little Daihatsus. It is based on a similar platform, and as such, in Europe, they actually came out with a K3 VE, which is the engine we put in the Blue Turd. And a race that I lost at this very circuit here at Pheasant Wood. This car's from a time where some of these manufacturers in Japan were really trying to do something a bit special. It does look like a Figaro, and there's a reason for that. It's kind of based on similar styling. It's also supposed to look like an Audi TT, which is kind of hilarious. And what they've ended up with is a car that kind of looks like a piece of garlic bread, if you look at it from the side for long enough. And if you're hungry, it's absolutely a car that makes you want to put the top down, hit the road, and take in some nice twisty driving roads. I've driven a lot of Daihatsus. I'm a fan of them. It's no secret. Why? Because they're cheap nuggets. You get a lot of value for your money. They're easy to fix. And did I say they're cheap? They are cheap. This one's one of the fanciest ones that was ever made. The engine, being a JB DET 4-cylinder 660 engine, is unusual because they're normally 3 cylinders. This one is a lot smoother. The red line's at 8,000, but it will rev beyond that if you want it to. and it just keeps spinning. It's really, really smooth, and it was made as more of a kind of premium version of Daihatsu's offering of the time. In terms of equipment, you got power steering, you got air conditioning, you got a tacho. This one's been upgraded with a CarPlay head unit. There's also a catalogue of aftermarket mods you can get for these things out of Japan. They are actually really popular, and as you saw, they get turned into race cars flat out, and I had to understand what it was about. That's a bit of info about the car. To help me understand why so many people were campaigning them at Sepang Circuit and having such a good time, I've decided to come down here to Pheasant Wood to a track day, stick a helmet on, cut a couple of hot laps, and see how this thing goes. Straight away, what do you get? Smiles. That's what you get. 5,000 RPM, 6,000 RPM, just hooking its way around the corner. Flat chat, so good. Brakes, nearly spun it. Yes. Oh, this thing's brilliant. I wouldn't say it's fast, but it's absolutely engaging. At the end of the straight, you're at 7,000 RPM. You've still got another 1,000 till the red line, which is just crazy. The gear shift is so smooth. The engine is so smooth, which is unusual for K-car engines when they're little 3-cylinders, which is what most Daihatsus are. They sound great, but they are a little bit rough. This is not rough. This is smooth as silk. 7,500 RPM, a little bit of brakes to the end of the straight. Downshift it, you don't really need to, but we're gonna. Oh, it's just fantastic. It just makes you want to cut lap after lap after lap. What do you do if you want to go faster? What do you do if you want to modify? Well, Japan has you covered, of course. There's a whole bunch of modifications you can get for this car out of Japan, made by all the big names. Or of course, there's always Daihatsu Lego, otherwise known as engine swaps. In Europe, these cars actually came out with a 1.3 litre, and the best 1.3 litre that Daihatsu ever made is the K3 VE. That's right, it might sound familiar to some of you. It's the engine that we put in the Blue Turd. It comes out of a Syrian GTVI. And guess what, people? It's all the same platform. You know what that means? It means you can engine swap this thing. But the question is, do you want to engine swap it? Do you want to take away the lightness, the reviness of the little JDM engine? It's a 4-cylinder, it's 660cc to fall within K-car rules. Do you want to get rid of that and put a big, heavy engine in? Potentially make that lift of the rear even worse? I guess we'll find out. The plan with this car is to modify it with whatever off-the-shelf stuff we can get, tweak it a little bit, see how it turns out, and then we might think about a big block swap. My first lap was 1:16, and my fastest lap was 1:11. So 5 seconds improvement.
It does seem like everyone's a little bit confused by the Copen until they get in it or until they drive it, because this little mad hatchback nugget is an absolute blast at a track day. I cannot wait to see how fast it is once we've done some mods.
Not only did I buy it in the dark, I also insured it in the dark, which is cool because Shannon's, who are our sponsor of Mighty Car Mods, now have an online self-service system so you can get your quotes, your policies. They will also insure motorbikes and your daily drive and your partner's car and your house and all that sort of stuff. So if you're in Australia, check them out. You also get agreed value and choice of repairer, which is two of my favourite things.
And if you've got an imported car, a special car, there's laid-up cover as well. There's all sorts of options available for car enthusiasts, so check out the Shannon's website. And thank you to Shannon's, of course, for being proud sponsors of Mighty Car Mods. Next up, of course, we're going to be hitting a little bit of Volkswagen Up GTI. It's been an ongoing project that is way bigger and grander than anything we could have imagined.
We said we'd do it in a week.
We said we'd do it in a day. We just said we'd swap the motor. But of course, we've got a couple of problems. That is going to be kicking off again next. Some parts are going to be on the way for this. And I mean, look, welcome to 2024, people. We got some absolutely epic plans for this year.
Big
Nuggety
stuff.
cars, big things happening, some overseas trips. So thank you for watching. And of course, if you do want to support the show, I'm looking for my magnetic parts tray, which I've lost.
Put it over there
We have
somewhere.
magnetic parts tray, a magnetic parts tray which has got free key tags on it. I don't have it, but look at
found it.
this. A photo's about to appear.
I found it.
Oh, it's not a photo. Martin has it. Here it is.
That was on my
So you
chair.
can get a magnetic part tray right now from the
bolts
Mighty Car Mods website. We'll include a free key tag with it as well. That's available at mightycarmods.com, and that directly helps support the show and helps pay for this video that you are watching. So thank you very much. We're off to get some lunch and see you next time.